Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and today I have a really cute card for you. It looks like this. We're going to use the designer series paper. Now this designer series paper is called, and I'm going to show you here in the catalog, the pattern party paper. And this designer series paper is you can only get it with host rewards. Stamp rewards. They're called stamp rewards now. So when you place an order of $150 or get an accumulative order of $150, so if you have some friends that are stampers too and you want to have a party and have them order a little bit and then you get the stamp rewards, but whatever, that's what paper we're using today. And this paper has so many bright and awesome colors in it, and then the other side is black and white. If you have questions about the getting friends together in order, be sure and let me know and I'll answer all the questions I can. But let's go ahead and make the card. So when I made this one, because we're going to cut the designer series paper, I cut this one, I believe, 1.5 inches. So we're going to cut this one because I want a little bit more room for my words here. We're going to try something different, and we're going to cut this one with my paper trimmer at 1 3/4 and see if that works better. If I screw it up, then it'll be a lesson. Don't do that. But I'm going to put my paper in here. Now this is 5 1/4. So 2.5 would be half of my paper, and then I'm going to go another 1/8. So really it's 2 5/8, and that's going to be the center here. And then I'm going to take my cutting blade. Let me put my cutting blade up here. And I'm going to go down here on my marker here to 1 3/4. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to just go down here to about there. And then now I have this slit in the side of my paper. Now let me show you another one I did, because when you make your paper, I did this one with that strawberry paper. And look, now I wished I would have done my paper this way, because well, most of my strawberries are upside down, and so make sure you just pay attention to the pattern in your paper. Now this pattern, it's so busy and there's so much, it wouldn't matter if I did it this way or this way. But if you have a pattern that's directional, you just got to pay attention. So then I tried to do this on my paper trimmer to score from here to here, but to be honest with you, I couldn't even see where this mark began. So I got out my ruler. You could also just use a kit block. Now, if you've bought Stampin' Up's kits or Paper Pumpkin, you could use a block because it has this straight edge here. But I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to line it up where this cut ends here and this point is down here. And I'm going to just pick that paper up and just kind of bend it right there where I want it to fold. And then I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So again, I'm going to line it up where this cut ends and this point down here, and just fold it. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. Don't look at my cards. If you're expecting perfection, it's not going to happen. But then I'm going to take this here, and now I'm going to fold it back pretty good. And get that nice crisp, because we have that fold started. See, and that's a pretty good, I got pretty good on the corners there with the fold, using the ruler. I think that worked easier than the paper trimmer and whatever. So now we need to do a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to use this in color bloom here. It also goes with the Pierce flowers. I think that's what the dies are called, the Pierce flowers. You've seen me use those a bunch of times. They're my favorites. But this time I just want to stamp some words and some flowers here in this open spot. So I'm going to start with some black. I'm going to use Memento. And I have the words here, you mean so much to me. And I have a piece of, and I got black on it already. Let me turn that over. I have a piece of basic white that is just 4 inches by 5 1/4, so just your layer. In fact, we're going to use 2 of those because the other one's going to go on the inside. And if you miss the measurements here, don't sweat it out. You can just go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and all the measurements are there too. So let me take I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper just so I can practice. Here, this will work. Now I'll tell you, with these clear stamps like this, especially this stamp set, because there are a lot of solid stamps, whoops, if you're having trouble getting a good image, grab your Stampin' Pierce mat and stamp on there, and that little bit of cushion gives you a better image. Now, since I have hard tabletops, I don't have that problem, so I don't need to worry about it. But there we go. So that's where I want that at. Now I can move this out of the way, and I'm going to just stamp a few flowers. But you know what? While I have that black, let's go ahead and do the inside. So here's my other piece of basic white that, like I said, is 5 1/4 by 4. This one's going to go on the inside, but I'm going to ink up another stamp. This one just says, "Happy birthday, you really are the best," and that's what I want to put on the inside. And I might as well do all my stamping with the same color at the same time. I'm going to practice one time just to make sure I have a good coverage here. Yep. Okay. When the first time you ink it up, well, sometimes I need to practice. Maybe it's a practice kind of Friday morning. But I'm going to take that now and try to stamp it straight here, right there. There we go. Now it's ready for some, well, you know, in fact, look, it's kind of blurry. I'm going to do it again. I wasn't going to do that to you, make you watch me do that again, but I really want a nice card. I send out all my birthday cards. Everybody gets a birthday card, and I can always use birthday cards. So let me stamp that again. This time I won't push so hard, because you don't want to smush the stamp. You just want to touch it on the paper and hold it, let the ink sink in. Much better. So I'm happy with that. Let's bring in some other colors. So in the designer series paper, there are a lot of colors. And so I have well, I think I have almost all of them here. I have the Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, Misty Moonlight, this is like a test, Granny Apple Green, Pool Party, and then I have some Crushed Curry. I also have all the ink pads too, because we're doing some stamping and then some coloring. So let's start with flowers. I have the flower that looks like this. In the stamp set, I'm going to use mostly these littler flowers. So I'm going to take this one and some of that Flirty Flamingo ink, maybe. Yep, Flirty Flamingo. And ink that up good. Now this is where, this is a solid image, so if you're having trouble, you need to get your Pierce mat and use that under your paper, and you'll get a better image. But like I said, since I have a really hard tabletop, I don't need it. I do pretty good without it. There we go. And then with some of that Crushed Curry, I think, no, you know what, let's do one, wait a second, back it up. Let's do some flowers here while we're at it. I'm going to add one right there too. Now I think we're done with that Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to bring in that Crushed Curry and my scrap paper again, because I want to stamp off. I think the Crushed Curry is a little darker than what I want. So I'm going to stamp it once here and then stamp it here. Yeah, I think that looks, it's a little bit dark for me. I want it a little bit lighter. And then I'm going to stamp one maybe here. Nope, I think that's all I want of that one. So we're going to put that one away. Let's do some insides here. So I have a little tiny, I don't know, it's a little blob, I guess you would call it. And I'm going to bring in that Misty Moonlight and take that pretty little blob and just put it right here inside that flower. Since we're doing that one, we're going to do this one over here too. And then this, I think that's all I need of the Misty Moonlight. Then I'm going to bring in some of that Poppy Parade and another little, I guess you're going to call it blob, and I'm going to stamp it in the center of this flower. So far, so good, I think. Then with a little bit of Pool Party, I'm going to take this little flower and just stamp it a couple times here to get that color in there. Maybe a couple times here. Okay, and then last but not least, I'm going to bring in that Garden Green, and I think I'm really happy. I think this is really going to be bright and festive, and it's just pretty. And here's another little set of just dots, or yeah, I don't even know what to call these, spatters maybe, is that a word? and I'm going to just fill in some extras to give it that little green. So there, I think that looks pretty good. I guess I should have laid my paper on there to see, but nope, I think that's even going to look cute that way too. So let's go ahead. We're done stamping now. We can put all of that away. Put this away. And now I'm going to bring in these markers here. And I'm going to start with the darkest color first. I better put it down on a piece of scratch paper just in case. So I'm going to start with the Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to just color, and I'm going to go with an odd number. So I'm going to just color 3 of these little circles just to give that black and white side a little bit of color. So I stamped 2 here, or colored, sorry, 2 here. So on this time, I'm going to take my Poppy Parade, and I'm going to color 2 down here, just randomly, and then maybe 1 up here. And then I think the next color would be Crushed Curry, and I'm going to color 2 up here, and 1 down here. And I'm just trying to keep it odd numbers so that it looks, maybe it won't even make a difference, but I like it that way. So now I'm going to color 2 down here. This is the Granny Apple Green. And then just 1 up here. Same thing. Whoop, I'm going to go the lighter color, which is the flirty, or the darker color, the Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to color 2 up here and just 1 down here. And then last but not least, I'm going to bring in that Pool Party, and I'm going to color a couple of them down here, and then just maybe 1 up here. So then that gives my Designer Series paper, the black and white side, a little bit of color to coordinate with the other side. So let's put this onto our white piece. I'm going to just take some Stampin' Seal adhesive, and I'm going to make sure I get close to this edge that is folded here. This one here, a little bit back here. Now, oh, and real quick, let me grab, I'm going to use my Stamparatus base here, and I'm going to lay my paper up here in this corner. Now this is what I want to go, I'm going to adhere this piece to this, but this way I can match those corners. So I have this all the way into the corner, and then all I have to do is set this piece into the corner, and now look how easy those are to line up. So it looks like that. Seeing how easy it was to use the Stamparatus base to line up my paper so they're perfectly even. Okay, now we're going to just take this piece and we're going to lay it, whoop, we're going to put it right here on my basic black. Did you see that? Slippery little booger. I have a piece of basic black here. That's just your typical card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And I can lay this piece right here on top of this one. And it just gives it that little black border that brings it all together. So it looks just like that. There we go. And I think I really do like this cut 1 3/4 more than this one that was 1 1/2. So I do think we need to trim this a little. I didn't have measurements. I just saw the card and tried to make it. Now on the back of these 2 flaps, I'm going to take a dimensional and just set it right here on the corner. Lay those open like that, and then using our new Baker's Twine adhesive pack, I'm going to just take that black and tie a quick bow. This would be a good if you have a bow maker or if you know how to make a fork bow. Every day I say I'm going to do a video showing how to make a fork bow so that y'all know. It makes it a really pretty easy bow, but I guess for today I'm going to just tie it normal like that, and I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to get my scissors here for ribbon and just trim that down a little bit so it's about the same size as the loops of my bow. Then I threw my bow across the room. Okay, and then with a glue dot, I'm just going to take a glue dot here and I'm going to fold it in half with my scissors. Well, it didn't stick. Okay, oh, there we go. Come on, glue dot. And then put it right here on this point, right here, and then just stick my little bow right there. And look how cute that card is. It's really flat. It'd be great for mailing. It doesn't have a lot of bulk to it, but I think it's a really cute card. Okay, let's go ahead and put the inside in. Oop, that's the wrong one. Use this one. Okay, we're almost out. Let's see if we can make it through the video with the tape I have in my... There we go. Plenty of tape. And then we're going to put this on the inside. Right there, just like that. Look how cute. Is that not a beautiful little simple card? This way too, you can see both sides. Here, let me bring in that strawberry one too. You can see both sides of the paper. So if there's a pattern paper, you can't decide which side you want to use. You just go ahead and use both sides like on this card. So I'm sad to say that this is a paper, the Designer Series paper is one that you have to earn. It's not one that's on Stampin' Up sale. Stampin' Up is having a sale on their Designer Series paper, 15% off. All of them are in the annual catalog. If you don't have an annual catalog, be sure and let me know. I would love to send you one. If you like the products that you saw today and you want to order them, you can visit my blog, Be Creative with Kathy, and there's a Shop Now button that will take you right to my online store. And I don't know if you watch my videos, but if you have, you know that I'm trying to sell some of my bundles. So I have 6 bundles that I posted on my blog this morning that I have. They're retired. I no longer want. I want to pass them on to a good home. So like I said, be sure and check my blog out, becreativewithkathy.com, to see all the measurements for the card, the supplies I used, and the blogs that I have for sale. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.